Hey, my name is Isaac Mejia, and I am the director of the 60mm film D.O.O.R or D.O.O.R for short. My main actor, 2 weeks in the role he was given, he was the main actor for my film. He did such an awesome and such an amazing job as well. And Door is definitely a film that is way different from my style. I do a lot of horror and drama films, and I kind of wanted to do something a bit different, and this is kind of what I'm going to try and go for. Something different, something diverse, something that's weird, ridiculous. So this is what Door is all about. This is what the dimensional, observational, odyssey, and liquidation film is all about. Something that's out of the ordinary. My inspiration was that um, I made a lot of films that a bunch of them were horror and a bunch of them were dramas too, and I kind of like was kind of making the same kind of film. So instead, for this film, I wanted to stray away from that and want to do something a bit more, let's just say, ridiculous and a little bit more like out of this world almost. So what I came up with was a sci-fi dark comedy, in my words, pretty much. So, and like the inspiration I took instead of like horror films, I instead took inspiration from a lot of comedies like a lot of Seth Rogen films, stuff like Super Bad, This Is the End, and Pineapple Express. Those are the kind of films I wanted to like draw inspiration from. I also really like was kind of entranced by like the 70s vibe, so I wanted to just give some sort of like tribute to that era of filmmaking. I think the theme of Door is like kind of all over the place, but the thing I kind of went for was I wanted to make a film about different possibilities, different like a lot of diverse ways you can like express yourself, a lot of different opportunities you can take throughout the future, having no restrictions at all. I mean, having all that freedom from like all the experiences you can have throughout your entire life, and how you shouldn't have to like be locked into like what came before you, or what is expected of you. You want to do something more than you can possibly imagine. You want to live up to your potential, and that's kind of what I want Door to be about. Uh, it's about a man who kind of like goes places, tries to pretty much like experience freedom for the first time, especially since he kind of he was stuck in a lab pretty much, and I wanted to make a film like you have a lot of freedom to do whatever you want, and like all the fun and all the imaginative scenarios you can get yourself into. So in the 3 months that I had a legit I legit really liked the strict scheduling because it made me like it made the filmmaking process a lot more efficient, so that I had to like instead, because I made my capstone for EVIT, the East Valley Institute of Technology, and that took me over a year to make, and I felt I didn't have like a lot, and even I felt like during that process it was like just extremely like easy and most relaxed. But with this one, it was like you have like 3 months to go from uh, an idea to your production ending. So you did not have a lot of time within the 3 months to like find location, find crew, find actors, everything like that. Um, and I've had to take time off of work to do all that stuff because I just did not have time to do outside stuff for my life. I had to give up the gym. I had to give up work. I had 2 jobs before this. I had to quit one of them because I just couldn't handle doing doing 16 these types of productions. But to be honest, I actually like the strict scheduling they give you, the strict deadlines and everything, because it made me feel like really efficient overall. It really improved like how productive I am overall towards filmmaking, especially towards the future, where like you get like 2 weeks in advance to like do all that. But with this one, you get like 3 months to do it pretty much all by yourself, and I can't imagine what it's like doing it with like a lot of people and all that. I think they were the best part of this process. So my main actor, Rowan, two week in, I think he did a great job in the role he was given. He was the main actor for my film, and I think he did such an awesome and such an amazing job as well. And he nearly captured like all the like the time era I was trying to go for, with that being kind of like a 70s hippie vibe almost. And then I had 2 other actors I didn't know. I had Griffin, who played one of the aliens. He was really great, even in the short time span he had. And then also Rico, also really good. Also a really good actor in terms of like how he wanted to play a cult member and everything. And my other 2 actors, Colin and Connor, also really good, really amazing actors. Even Connor, who was less of an actor and more of a crew member, was like, he did a great job as an alien, and so did Colin, being a test subject for them. I think the strongest aspect is the door prop itself. The door basically became like one of the main cast members pretty much. It had a whole personality in terms of like what it wants to do to Owen, what its goals were pretty much, how it affected the story, how it affected the character himself. So I think that was definitely the most valuable part of the story overall. So I had a couple ideas. One idea I had that I'm probably still gonna do is a gangster movie where they were pirates, but I couldn't really get the idea off without having some sort of dialogue or some sort of like cusp on runtime. I'm definitely gonna revisit the idea, but I would absolutely love to do gangster pirates again one day. So the way I got around that is mainly having to think of in the script how the body language overall says more to what the characters are, and that's not dialogue, because the dialogue I've written for scripts in the past was I mainly have them rely a lot on dialogue almost, even if they were the only characters in the film. And I really wanted to like try and make sure that these characters can be expressed without dialogue. What are they like without having to say a word? How they basically come up with stuff. How can you like see what they're thinking without actually having to say anything like that? So that's kind of how I got around through the whole no dialogue thing. I think I would definitely have a lot more set design overall, because I want to give Rowan a bit more of a 70s style outfit, but I found my actor last minute, so I kind of had to go with what he had. I think he still had a pretty good wardrobe, but I definitely would have a lot more like set design, mise en scène, stuff like that. And I also would love to get more locations, a lot more frantic aspects, like go like have the door transport him to the moon, transport him to freaking, I don't know, a war scene, stuff like that. Stuff like that is possible, but it just like takes up a lot of time, a lot of like asking, a lot of saying stuff, a lot of buying stuff like that. And I also would love to like get a better a better quality door, honestly, because the door itself was not the easiest thing to work with. I think the hardest part was definitely going out of pre-production and going to post-production, because we couldn't find, because we didn't have a casting audition in our class. So what we had to do was we had to go out and ask for actors, either from our friends, our family, stuff like that. The way I got actors was through the Arizona Actors Network on Facebook. I just made a casting call on there, a post, and that's kind of how I got Tuikin, Griffin, and Rico. And I think that was the hardest part for me, because I think the hardest part was going from pre-production to production, because even after I finished my notebook, I still had to like get my props ready to go, location ready, paperwork, actors, sets, stuff like that. I feel like that was kind of the hardest part, at least for me alone. I definitely would love to do that again, but I definitely would like to like keep myself calm and definitely work ahead of schedule rather than waiting last minute for it. D.O.O.R is definitely a film that is way different from my style. I do a lot of horror and drama films, and I kind of wanted to do something a bit different, and this is kind of what I'm going to try and go for. Something different, something diverse, something that's weird, ridiculous, freaking insane. So this is what D.O.O.R is all about. This is what the dimensional, observational, odyssey, and liquidation film is all about. Just endless possibilities, almost no restrictions, something that's out of the ordinary.